because this image has such historic racist overtones and a racist history, it drew a very negative response, not just from Democrats and activists, but also fellow Republicans.
Now, Donald Trump is refusing to apologise after a video clip was posted on his Truth Social account, which included a clip depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as monkeys. The clip set to the song The Lion Sleeps Tonight was at the end of a 62-second video he shared containing claims about voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election. Now, the White House initially said that the clip was an internet meme video and told the critics to stop the fake outrage. They also said that it was initially done by a junior intern. Now, they later backtracked following a fierce backlash, including from several Republicans. Senator Tim Scott, who is black, described it as the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The post was removed from Truth Social 12 hours after it went up, and a White House official later said that it had been a staffer that erroneously made the post. But it then looks like it had been the president who put it up, but then he told reporters on Air Force One that he hadn't watched the whole video.
I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff from The Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff from The Lion King. But I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%.
Now, the former Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris said that nobody should believe this cover-up from the White House, especially since they originally defended the post. We are all very clear-eyed about who Donald Trump is and what he believes. Well, let's now speak with Russell Contreras, who is the justice and race reporter at the American news outlet Axios. Russell, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good to be with you, Ayesha.
So what do we know exactly what happened? Because there's been a few different accounts of what's happened. What's your understanding of what happened here?
Well, according to the White House, the president, there was a staffer that posted this video on his Truth Social late at night. And then Trump said, no, it was actually, I don't see a mistake, kind of telling us, no, he did it. You know, the president at night posts a lot of material on his social media platform, Truth Social. So it is believed that this was something from the president. Among reporters, there's some skepticism that an intern late at night was posting on behalf of the president of the United States. So there's a dispute about how this got up there. Now, we do know the video was there, and the images of Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, and former First Lady Michelle Obama were portrayed as apes in an AI-generated video, generating a lot of backlash because this image has such historic racist overtones and a racist history. It drew a very negative response, not just from Democrats and activists, but also fellow Republicans. You mentioned Tim Scott, the South Carolina senator and the only black Republican in the Senate, but also a Republican senator from Mississippi, one of a state with the troubled racist past. It was widely condemned, and the president at first said this is fake outrage, and then sort of backtracked because there was so much anger out in the general public.
Now, President Trump's former chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, says that this could cost the Republicans the midterms in the House. What are you picking up on that front?
Well, there was already headwinds for the Democrats coming into the midterms. You see evidence there that there's a lot of anger at the president on the way not only how he's handling immigration enforcement, but the economy. Affordability remains to be something that is discussed widely around the country. So he's already going in behind the game. And with this image, I think it does not help. And what's happening to the American public is that our electorate is becoming more diverse. Every election, you're getting more people of color to come to the polls. They're registering to vote, especially Latinos in the United States and also Asian Americans. So this does not help. The president is going to face some very strong headwinds, but he's also going to face a more diverse coalition that he faced with Kamala Harris. Now, it's very important to point out when he ran in 2024, he got a very good, nice portion of this diverse coalition.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, like Latino, he almost won the Latino vote. He had probably the best showing of a Republican in modern history. Kamala Harris only got 51%. He got 49 or 48%, the way, however you figure it. So that was the best performance of a Republican candidate since George W. Bush in 2004. But he seems to have wiped that all out, not just with this post, but other comments he'd made that people have just determined they're racist. Not only that, he's going through and ordered his Park Service and the Department of Interior to go through national park services and take down references to slavery or any other history related to people of color. We had long thought this was settled, that we could have these discussions in a public sphere. It was non-controversial, but he's taken a very conservative, some notions from that and taking that away. In that totality, he's facing some headwinds in the midterms.
And what's, as you said, Russell, he did gain a lot of support from minority communities, many of whom, did have concerns as other, white voters and other Republican voters about immigration and illegal immigration, and they were sort of an affordability and the economy, and they supported Donald Trump on that. And that was quite an interesting quirk of the last election. But why do you think he's gone so far? And he seems to have sort of, alienated this group of people who, was quite a big get for him to get on side.
That's a good question. And I would point to one thing that's just having a tectonic shift in the United States is our media ecosystem has broken into shards of glass, more so than many other places. So our general public is not getting all its news from your traditional media outlets. It's going to social media. There's also conservative leaning media. Someone like Donald Trump and someone on the MAGA sphere could be getting all their news from these spaces. And so when they go to mainstream sources, they're shocked that people are angry. So what seems to be happening with not just Donald Trump, but a lot of his supporters and his allies, they have inundated their system with MAGA media influenced sites, getting informed that way. And they get shocked when there's this general pushback, not just in this video, but in other things going on with, say, the economy, when they're getting poll numbers that people aren't upset, they're upset about affordability. They say, hold on, that's not what I'm hearing in my ecosystem. This is fake news. This is obviously somebody trying to take us down. So when you are operating in the shards of glass, when you try to bring things in the totality of what the general public is, you're going to be resistant because that's not what you're hearing and that's not your assumptions. And a lot of folks say is, we're telling the president and other Republicans, look at the polls. We are not doing well in the economy. Just because you say it's doing well doesn't mean it's doing well. Groceries are very high. You can go down. I'm right here in Albuquerque on Route 66, where there's a lot of closed businesses. This is an area 10 years ago that was thriving, and right now it's not. There are some fundamental things around the economy, and we're not having those discussions when you're posting videos and you're doing other things. It seems to be a distraction. Like, we're not even talking about the Epstein files. We're not tackling the fundamental things of why you were elected and people voted for you in the first place.